Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Let's Stand Gamers, and welcome. So today we're taking a look at another beautiful item from the Steam Workshop. This is of course the Evil Overlord base by Snow Crash, and I have to say, the co-creation, the concept of this thing is very evil. It does remind me of a supervillain's lair from some sort of movie. Now the first thing I want to draw your attention to about this creation, since it is a station slash base that we're looking at, is what it's actually mounted on. It's mounted on the moon sort of planet. You don't have to just bear with me for the lag in this video. There's going to be a little bit of lag due to the size of this creation. But as you can see, we're on a moon, very desolate, but within this crater, somehow this evil lair has managed to get sort of plant life and grass to grow. Maybe it's got some sort of Gex sort of system, like if you're a, Fallout stuff, or some way of creating life in this particular area. Very interesting indeed. So there's multiple ways of actually entering into this base. One of them actually starts over here with this tunnel, and there's a little bit of a track that runs around the surface. Maybe the Evil Overlord's a fan of driving around in this nicely vegetated area, I don't know, but through this tunnel the vehicle starts up here and you can actually drive around, maybe like a little bit of a racetrack, so you can do some evil villain racing and you can just race around the exterior over the little brown path. Now away from the racetrack or whatever it's supposed to be up on the top surface, we've got multiple ways of entering the base. One of them down below here is through the carport. Now the carport itself, as you can see, we've got a number of different cars here. Just look at the colour scheme. We've also got this quite cool little sticker here. You aren't being paid to believe in the power of your dreams. And then there's like a little Sector 14 manufacturer. I like motivational posters. They're good, or counter motivational posters. So we've got each one of the vehicles tucked in here. And just look at the colour scheme. It's very much evil. I like it. Nice orangey and black colours going around the side. So let's have a look at some of the other entranceways to the base. Now, one of my favourite entranceways is this ship sort of port here. As you can see, this opens up. The ship can lower itself down, and then it lowers itself through a secondary door, and then into this larger hangar here. Now, on the side, we've also got this hangar. So say your ship can't fit into that smaller hole. Maybe it's not a fighter or whatever. You can offload your supplies in here. This feels very Star Wars-esque. I can imagine parking the Millennium Falcon in here and offloading some supplies. But we'll use this as our entrance point into the actual base itself. So we'll just pop in here. Since we're on a moon sort of planet, the gravity is a lot less. So we're at, I think, 0.25. So you can see as we come through this tunnel, I really like how he's made it very green and vegetated. It doesn't make much sense because the rest of the planet is really sort of not overgrown. So we'll pop this up and we'll bring that to the surface. And that's what makes this little, look at the pipes going through the side. They're just simple little details like that make your base come alive. So once the lifters come up, these are piston lifts, so you can only imagine the madness that will ensue if something goes wrong in one of these elevator shafts. Since the gravity is a little bit lower as well, we kind of float our way down the side of the elevator shaft rather than hovering upon it. So as we come into this area, you're like, yeah, I've just entered the base really safely and really nicely. And you go, what could this possibly be? And then as you walk under the light, everything turns red, and the next minute you're shredded by multiple turrets. And what's even cooler about this is that these little turrets, you can see, I don't think they'll actually lock onto me. They lock onto that point since the system is being activated in that such a manner. But it reminds me of something like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like, you must solve the puzzle to pass this area. I mean, like, could you solve it by, like, just jetpacking around it, though? Oh, okay. We have solved the problem of the evil lair. You jetpack around the massive trap in the wall. Right, so as we head into this next area, you can see the little bit of depressurization. We kind of imagine some sort of casual elevator music playing in here. I can imagine it's like Welcome to the Evil Boss's Lair, but we're going to play some nice casual music like do 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 do. So you enter into here. We've just opened this door up before we came in, and we're in the main control room. You can see these gas venting from both the sides with some air vents up there, and we've got the view of the hangar below. So you can sit here. You can imagine different evil minions being abused by their overlord, and not in that way, but I mean like saying, why haven't you set this ship to go to such and such a sector? So you can go off to the side here, and this just leads a way down to the actual hangar bay itself. Nothing too special there, so I'll just quickly show you that by using the spectator mode. So if we cut through here, we go through that door, and you can see how this just leads away. We've got like a little pilot bay area where the minions are going to be sleeping and whatnot. And as you come through this secondary airlock, we enter into the elevator shaft that goes down here, and we're in the main hangar bay, like so. Quite nice, quite little. Quite sort of detailed as well. I like the window. I like how they've just cut the rock out rather than making it dead square with some of the blocks around the side. So obviously you've got other access points here. You can come around the back and access into this rear area that takes you into the upper observatory area for the giant missile. Now if you have an evil lair, you need a pointy missile, and this guy, Snow Crash has just not failed to deliver us with a quite pointy missile. It's not super pointy. We need more points on this missile. As you can see, it goes down to the bottom. There's another control room down there that we'll head down to. So you can see that. A lot of plant life in here. It's important when you're in an evil lair to have a lot of plant life because it must make you feel a little bit more homely. So I'll bring our character down here to this lower deck and we'll spawn him in here. You can see we've got the ship nicely parked there. And we can enter into the evil lair itself, or we can alternatively go this way. And we can access one of the storage / hydrogen rooms and recharge centers in here. Very nice indeed. We've got a little walkway that leads up to the control room of this area as well. Just where you're going to store your cargo, you're going to store your hydrogen, you've got your backup and refinery modules. It's a bit of something that you kind of goes on the back of evil layers. You don't see too much of that. You normally see rooms like this where they've got a big chair and they say enter. And they have a guard maybe at each pillar. And as you walk towards the evil overlord, he asks you to do some sort of mad mission. I don't particularly know, but there's lots of loudspeakers around as well. I can imagine him giving some evil sort of propaganda out of them to his workers, like work faster. I don't know. That's not really evil propaganda. But there we go. We've got the second viewing port this way. And now what I do quite like about this evil lair, it's always important to have a quick escape route. So if we go back here, we have this sort of sealed in escape route. So you can imagine this. I think I've seen this like Independence Day or something where they have to get the president out the area quick. So we've activated the timer block there, and when the timer block is activated, if Aaron clicked it correctly, oh god, I don't think I did, we'll have to hop off and reactivate the timer block. So as we reactivate that timer block, you can see that this piston starts to go forward. Now I believe it went a little bit faster last time, or maybe I've broken it, bloody broken it, haven't I? Okay, we'll reactivate the piston timer and see if that does. So it should like have a slow countdown, and this piston then should go up the shaft. Okay, I'll show you what I did earlier. Okay, so there you go. So they went up the shaft, and there you go. It sounded like a heart attack where I prepared the shaft in earlier. Right, as we come to the end of the shaft, we pop out this little air vent here. We've got a nice little waiting room. And then we've got like a hidden bunker where the evil overlord can ponder as an attack maybe is going on above. Maybe he's got these like little bookshelves, I imagine. I imagine that the evil emperor would have lots of books and maybe a cat. But I don't particularly know. Anyway, check this out on the workshop. It is quite a beautiful little world. I'll just zoom out and show you some last little bit of details. I like how he's put this sort of mace over the top of it. What would be quite nice? Maybe a dome or something? I don't know. But this will just give you a few inspirational ideas for building maybe your own evil empire under an asteroid or something. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.